So the xukuri, which is the God's eye, and I don't know at what point it became uh, called the God's eye, Ojo de Dios. And I'm not sure to what extent you also have similarities in other Mesoamerican cultures using the God's eye or the xukuri, but in Wixárika culture it's very emblematic, and oftentimes nowadays I think the xukuri and the God's eye is related to Wixárika culture, and it's particularly important in Wixárika culture because of this territoriality. And so the xukuri has it's got 4 outer points and then a middle. 5. Some people might talk about actually there being 7 sacred points, which is an above and a below. So the northern point is Haujamanacá, which is located in the state of Durango. The southern point is Japawiyeme or Japawiyemeta, which most people relate to Lake Chapala, although there are some other evidences that it might have been in another close by region. Then to the west, you have Aramara, which is on the coast north of Vallarta, near a place called San Blas. East, you have Wirikuta, which is located in the Chihuahuan Desert in San Luis Potosí. And then in the center is Teacata, which is where our grandfather fire was emerged. And it's a sacred cave. It's located in what is Wixárika ancestral land, autonomous land in many ways, in the community of Santa Catarina. So those 5 points are what's visible kind of in that and symbolized in the xukuri. But you also have Tahema, which is the sky, and then you have Huatetuapa, which is the underworld. And so some people even talk about 7 sacred points. But most typically, 5. 5 is a very sacred number. Those 5 sacred places, also 5 colors of corn, going back to the importance of corn. And so oftentimes, Wixáritari will reference the importance of that number, not just because of the sacred points, but also because of the sacredness of corn, and corn in its native variants, right? The blue, the white, the yellow, the black, the red, very, very important. So for the Wixáritari, another point that I think is important to mark is that, I just gave a general geography of where those sacred places are located. But as I mentioned with Japawiyeme, which is, really tied to Chapala now in our contemporary moment, what some of the elders may also say is that these aren't fixed coordinates, right? It's not a one site. Within Wirikuta, for example, there are multiple sacred places within that larger sacred region. There are water holes, right? There are particular hills, places of power, you might say. And so it's very difficult to draw static coordinates to these places, right? Same with San Blas, Jaramara, to the west on the Pacific coast. There are a few different places that people go to leave these offerings. But now in the kind of modern era, when you're supposed to fix those geographic points, there becomes this need to kind of identify one given place that'll get that protection, right? And where the Wixárika will continue to have permission to go to, because these sacred places are on shared territory. With the exception of Teacata, all of these other places are places where other communities live. So they're not property, right? They're really sacred territory. They're pilgrimage places. They're places in which these offerings are deposited since time immemorial.